Hey friends, so this past week at dance class, I met this girl who was in from out of town, and she was asking me about how to find auditions, where to find auditions, what the audition process is like, and it got me thinking that there are a lot of people out there that are new to the city just like myself or about to move here and don't know what to expect. So this week I want to talk about everything I've learned so far that goes into auditioning in the city and what that looks like. So let's dive on in.
It's the journey of the soul, it's the adventure of me. No matter what I'm told, I know that I'm free to roam my own way, to float in my own sea, to chase my own dreams on this adventure of me.
So earlier this week I had an audition for Wicked, the musical, and it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. Not that it went bad, but I just didn't feel as prepared as I could have, and that came from having the entire week off before due to my back injury, where I truly did nothing and let my body rest and relax, which is what it needed to heal. But because of that, mentally and physically, I didn't feel prepared. And so the audition went fine, but like I said, I knew I could have done better. So internally, I was beating myself up, but sometimes that happens. That's showbiz, baby. But we just have to learn and grow and adapt with it. I knew I had another audition coming up, and so in order to prepare for that, I went back to dance classes to make sure that one, my back would hold up, and two, mentally I was ready to retain information and feel confident in what I was doing. So during one of those dance classes, I met this girl, Josie, who was in town with a school group, and they had spent the whole day at the dance center, and she and I were the first two in the dance class, stretching, warming up. So we got to do some small talk and get to know each other. But she was asking where to find auditions and how I even hear about auditions and what goes into an audition. And so I just wanted to take this video to recap everything I've learned so far about what goes into auditioning here in the city, and for anyone that's looking to pursue a career in entertainment and aspiring to be on Broadway. So yeah, I have been equity for 9 years now, since 2015. I got my card with Disney back in the day. So being equity, Actors Equity website, actorsequity.org, was all I knew of how to find auditions and where to go. But if you're not union or not equity, you can go to backstage.com. They list everything as well. And so that way you can find out what auditions are happening, when and where. So when I get onto the site, you can search for specific auditions in each location, or you can just do a generic search for any auditions that are happening. But I, being new to the city, have narrowed it down just to auditions in New York City for shows that will be happening in New York City as well. So you can filter what kind of auditions you want to search, which is really cool. So once you find the audition you're looking for, you can just sign up right there online, and it gives you a number, and then it lists all the preparation work that you need to know ahead of time, whether it's what shoes to bring, what kind of dance style they're looking for. So everything that you're looking for is right there in the notes. So make sure that you read all of that and be ready to go. And with that, being new to the city, I didn't move here to be auditioning for Broadway. It's just something that I fell into when I moved here because I had my equity card. But because of that, I didn't have my shoes, I didn't have clothes. So I had to go run around the city buying all of these when I signed up for my first audition. And so, I bought jazz shoes again, character shoes, ballet shoes, anything that I can use for class and for the auditions. I had to go buy new clothes to audition in, and so all of that just is a huge play into it as well, because you need to feel prepared, you need to feel confident and ready to go. Along with that, like I said, they're gonna tell you what kind of style of dance they're looking for and what kind of vocals they're looking for. So you wanna make sure that you have music picked out and ready to go as well, whether it's an upbeat tempo or something that's more ballad and laid back. Make sure that you're just reading all the preparation notes so that you can be as prepared for them as you can be. So along with being prepared is your headshot and resume. And they want your headshot and resume to be the same size, back to back, stapled together, so that all they have to do is flip it over and it's easy access for them. I didn't have any of that, and I didn't know where to go, so I had a friend recommend a place for me, so I can drop that link in the notes section of this video below, so look for that. They did a great job, and I would recommend them for anyone. The last thing that they'll do for preparation is sometimes there'll be a link to a Dropbox folder where they will say, learn the combination ahead of time, which again, this isn't every audition, but I've had 2 auditions so far that have done that. But do it, do it, do it. Do not skip this. It's very important because they expect everyone to know it already going into it. So when they get there, all they have to do is do a quick refresher or focus on details rather than learning the entire combination. So if you see that link, please follow it and do it. But then we get to day of the audition. Yes, the exciting part. So there are auditions held all over the city in different locations. So make sure that when you're reading about the notes of the audition that you're making sure not only you're looking at where, but the address as well. So Wicked just had the audition at the Ripley Greer location, but there are multiple of those. So make sure that you're reading the address and the location so that you know where to go, because they don't wait. They expect everyone to be on time, and if they skip over you, if you're not there when they call your name, they're gonna skip over you and you won't be seen. So that being said, all the auditions I've been to, each location, there's skyscraper buildings, and you walk in, you give the front desk your ID so they can check you in, and you just say, hey, I'm going to Ripley Greer, and then they let you up, and you can see in the lobby or next to the elevator, it'll show you, it'll say which floor the audition's on. So you go there, get out of the elevator, there'll be another lobby with another big, whether it's a TV screen or poster that says which room to go to. So then you'll hang out in that room, and that room is filled, along with the hallway around it, filled with people waiting for the audition. And so you really wanna be there on time because they're not gonna wait for you. So say the audition's at 10 a.m., they're gonna start calling numbers half an hour before that at 9:30. So they always go through the equity or the union people first. And so the number that you got when you signed up on actorsequity.org is not necessarily the number that you're going to be in the audition process. But they always start, numbers 1 through 25, and they will call your name and your number. And again, if they don't hear a response within 3 seconds, they skip you, and you're either moved to the back of the line or they're just gonna skip you altogether. And so you have to be quick to respond and vocalize, yes, I'm here. And then you walk up, you show them your Actors Equity card. You have to show that to them either physical or electronic form, either one is fine. And they will give you the number for the audition. You hold on to that, and they will go through all the numbers of people that signed up. And then once they figure out how many people are actually there for the audition, the mediator will go back into the room and talk with the casting and figure out if they're going to see non-union or non-equity members and how many people they want to take into the room at a time. And so during all of that, you can still be warming up, you can still be stretching, and just mentally preparing yourself for the audition. So whether that's hanging out and talking to people because you've seen the same people 8 times in 2 weeks because you're all at the same audition, or putting in your headphones and listening to music, whatever it is that you need to do to prepare yourself for the audition, that's the time to do it. Once the mediator comes back into the room, he's going to say whether they're going to see non-union or not, and then if they are going to, there'll be a separate list for them to sign up, and they'll go in order that way. But then they're gonna start with equity people or union people first, and going to say, okay, we're going to see 30 people at a time, and we're gonna do it in 45-minute segments, or 25 people at a time in an hour segment. Whatever it is, they're going to let you know right then and there, so that okay, I'm in the first group, or I'm in the second group, and then you can mentally prepare. Like if you're in the second group, okay, I have another 45 minutes to warm up or to use the bathroom, eat my granola bar, whatever it is. It's nice that they tell you right up front so that you know how much time you have in order to do it. If you're first group, great. You get in and you can get it done. So for me personally, I always like being the first group, just because when I do get there, 45 minutes before they even start the audition, I warm up, I'm stretching, I'm ready to go. So I like being first group just so I can get in. But you do get used to figuring out what group you're going to be. If I was number 130 when I first signed up for the audition, I know I'm not going to be in the first 30. I might make it down into, number 58 if no one shows up or whatever. So I could be second group. So I know when to start warming up my body and how to take care of myself. So you'll learn those things. But just know the number that you first sign up with online is not the number you're going to get. And then they will tell you how many people and how much time that you have in order to do everything. That's before you even get in the room. Once you're in the room, sometimes they'll say, hey, we're not looking for anyone, we're just holding the audition, and sometimes they won't tell you. And with equity, they have to legally hold 2 auditions every year, whether they're looking for people or not. And so sometimes the audition is truly just for the legality reasons. And it's nice when they do tell you that, because then it kind of takes the stress away from everything, and you can just have fun and treat it like a dance class, but you're still you're still in the same room as the casting directors and you're able to be seen by the dance captains and make those connections. So whether they're looking or not, it's still a great experience, but I always enjoy when they do say it, because then of course the stress is gone and you can just have fun with it. So then once you're in the room, they go over the combination, they teach it, you can ask questions. They might split the group into two just so people have a little more room to practice, and then they're going to break you down into however small groups they want. It could be groups of 3, groups of 5. You may do the combination once, twice, but they'll let you know again before they do it what they're going to do. But then it feels weird because once everyone has gone through in front of the casting, it's not a big goodbye, thank you so much, we'll call you. It's just, okay, thanks everyone, bye. And then you all pick up your water bottles and walk out the door. So it feels a little weird. But my one thing is go say thank you, because sometimes there's also a pianist or musicians that will accompany them rather than having a sound system. But go thank everyone. Go thank the pianist. Go thank the casting director. Go thank the dance captain that taught it. Make sure that you say thank you. So 1, your face can be seen again, but 2, whether they're looking or not, you are telling them that you appreciate their time that they took out of their day for you today. And so that's just a nice thing that I always do, and a lot of other people do it as well. But just a small little tip. And then you walk out of the room and you get your stuff and you go on your day. And for me, I always do a quick cool down stretch just to make sure that I'm not gonna injure myself more than I usually do. And then whether your little I did a good job is going to Starbucks and getting a coffee, or buying shoes, or whatever it is. For me, I will always just call my friends or text my friends and let them know how it went, and then I listen to some feel-good music on the way home, and then jump in the shower and take a nice hot long shower just to relax and de-stress. Whether it went really well or I feel it went really poorly, it just feels nice to have that moment of relaxation where, okay, it's done, you can process and then move on with your day. So yeah, those are the basics of everything I pretty much learned so far auditioning in the city. If you have any questions, comment below and I'm happy to try and answer them. But otherwise, we can keep learning together, and I will see you guys around. Bye.
This is the journey of the soul, it's the adventure of me.